Well, Linda, I told people that you would talk a little bit about the bumps in your life. I mean, people feel like oftentimes they feel like when somebody's successful that, well, they had a lot of trines in their chart, not so many squares. And that ain't necessarily true. Talk about some of the bumps along the way.
Well, it's pretty much choices we make, okay? I had a great childhood. I could have gone anywhere. My parents wanted to send me to Castellea. I said, oh, God, I can't leave my friends. No way. Well, that would have been a whole different world had I done that. Now, the bumps I went into is probably I was married for 25 years, and I had always been very much party girl. And I finally got to a point in my life after my divorce and after a bad breakup with somebody else. My divorce actually went pretty well.
As divorces go.
I had decided that I was going to quit drinking because it just wasn't doing for me what I thought it could. And I mean, I had never gotten into any trouble, never any DUIs, nothing like that. It was just, for me, life isn't working this way. Let's see what's going to go on. So I made the choice to put myself in an outpatient rehab, and it was right after Labor Day, probably 7 years ago. It was a Thursday. I drank up until Wednesday, and I just decided I wasn't going to drink anymore. And from that time on, I lost 50 pounds.
50 pounds?
50 pounds.
It takes a lot to take my breath away. That's what I call a diet.
I had, just gained so much more respect for myself, and all my innate psychic powers just came streaming back. And so I've just focused on that, and it's been just move, and things are great. Life's beautiful.
Yeah, and you've got so much going for you. Oh my gosh, listen to this. She's an ordained metaphysical minister. Her education consists of a degree in social science, certification in clinical trials management from UC Santa Cruz Extension, and advanced certification in Angel Certification Program under Charles Virtue, son of Doreen Virtue. She has a master's degree in metaphysics from the University of Sedona in Arizona. She's a certified hypnotherapist, and she's currently enrolled in the master's program at the Palo Alto School. Linda, you are a go-for-it girl. I call you the queen of manifesting. You are somebody who doesn't just listen. You hear, and you don't just listen and hear. You take action on it. So, just as an example, I said this earlier, you heard Dorothy Tayo talking about getting certified at the Palo Alto School of Hypnotherapy. You heard from me that I had done that. Even though I wasn't going to become a hypnotherapist, I wanted to do it for my own personal growth. And you acted on it. You called her up. You worked out a payment plan with her. Now you have your own office there. I think my psychic hit about you is that you're actually going to be teaching there. And, when you say yes, remember Nancy Reagan said, just say no to drugs?
Right.
I say just say yes to life.
Absolutely. In anything, even relationship, people are so afraid that I'm going to get hurt. You know what? That's part of life.
Yeah.
And each relationship we go through is a learning phase. And it teaches us what we do want and what we don't want in our next relationship. And that's how you get to the point of making your list and manifesting that person.
We're going to be coming back and taking your phone call, Shannon from Concord. So please stay there with us. All of our lines are filled, but if you want to queue up, it's 415-543-8255. And to hear somebody hang up, you can speed dial that, 415-543-8255. Are seeing beyond. I love taking your calls and finding out more about you. I am Bonnie Colleen, host of Seeing Beyond. And yes, I know not next week, but the week after that is going to be the 4th of July. It comes on a Monday. We usually broadcast on a Monday. Well, guess what? We will be. So we're here with you through thick, through thin, through holidays, even Christmas. I have broadcast on Christmas. I have broadcast on New Year's, whatever. So check out our website, seeingbeyond.com. for more information about our pioneering guests. They're the people like Linda Crose-Andersen who are doing something different to make a difference. Okay, Shannon, you're in Concord. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, you're coming in loud and clearly. What's your question for us?
Well, I've been very interested in two completely different people and was wondering if she has an idea of who would be best for me in the long run.
Well, good morning, Shannon.
Hi.
Hi, can I speak with your angels?
Yes.
Why do I have the name Ed coming up?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I have the name Ed coming up. So it's quite possible that you won't even have to make this choice between these two people because they may not be the ones for you.
And remember, Ed can be Edward or Eduardo, too.
Interesting. Don't know anybody by that name.
Well, that's what's coming in for me.
Okay.
Now, as far as these two people, okay, you realize when you have two people in your life, it is blocking, it's like the energy is kind of forcing against each other.
Yes, I know.
It's making it so you cannot resonate with either one.
Yeah, I know. That's what I don't like about it.
Right. So, as I told our first caller, I would strongly suggest that you put together a list and take a look at which one meets those qualities. And say bye-bye to the other one.
Because I was thinking how, when you think what was the best for me, they each have different qualities that are best for me, and I know nobody's perfect, so I feel like I would be happy with either one, but they're just very different and good for me in different ways.
Well, in that case, what you really need to do is listen to your gut, okay? Because it sounds to me, and I'm sorry if I put this bluntly, but it sounds to me that you don't want to be alone, so you're going to settle. So don't do that.
Okay.
Settling bad.
Okay.
Okay?
And the other thing is not to look at this with any kind of guilt about what you have done, but rather to look at this like a great learning experience. You've had some fun that you wouldn't have had. You've learned a lot of things. You found out which are the qualities of man behind door number 1 and man behind door number 2 that you like the best. So this is a learning experience for you. But, don't forget, Shannon, there's a door number 3.
And it could be the big E.
Do you have an idea when door number 3 is going to come around?
You know,
sometime.
Yeah. You know what? I really don't. And the thing is, it's all up to you. I could tell you anything. It's really up to you, because when you figure out what you really want and you start to radiate that energy, then door number 3 is going to open.
Okay, Shannon, this is going to sound really simple, and you're going to go, oh my God, I could do that right this minute, fine. But I want you to really take this seriously, okay? I want you to do a bumper sticker and put it on your refrigerator in big letters, block letters. But not until you feel the resonance with what I'm about to tell you. Okay?
Okay.
2 words. I'm ready.
Gotcha.
Okay. Got you. All right, thanks, Shannon. All right, let's go to Francesca calling in from San Francisco. Hello, Francesca.
Hi, thank you both so much.
You've been waiting a long time, and we're both in the same city. Hello.
Yes, hello.
And isn't she the queen of cities?
Yes, absolutely.
Especially when the sun's shining.
Yes. So, for years I've had such trouble with money and just severe lack and limitation. I had asked my mother for money for food and rent in December, and I'm just wondering, I give you permission to talk to my angels. What's happening? What can I do? What about my future? I'm scared about the rest of my life.
Okay, Francesca, you've got a huge block in there. And
Okay.
I'm feeling that it is definitely from past life. that you did experience that then, and for some reason you feel that you need to carry that over now.
Okay.
And that's not the case, and we have to dispel the feeling of lack,
Okay.
okay, and just release that whole feeling of lack. In fact, you know, here, we're going to do this very quickly, all right? If you'll repeat after me, please.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to take a couple deep breaths, so take in a deep breath,
Yes.
hold it, release, just take another one, hold it, and release. Okay. Please repeat after me. I can release any feelings regarding lack,
I release any feelings regarding
lack of abundance.
lack of financial abundance, money.
Thank you, that's very good. Lack of financial abundance, lack of any kind of abundance.
Lack of any kind of abundance.
I don't care to be the vessel of these feelings of negativity.
I don't care to be the vessel of these feelings of negativity.
I don't want it.
I don't want it.
I don't need it.
I don't need it.
Please send it into the light
Please send it into the light
for transmutation.
for transmutation.
And please surround me with your purple and white
Please surround me with your purple and white
protective light.
protective light.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Take a deep breath. Hold it. Let all that nastiness out.
It is done.
Okay, you feel better?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Very
Awesome.
Francesca, you can be spiritual and rich too.
Well. Thank you. I know that intellectually.
All right, now know it in every fiber of your being. Let's see if we can squeeze one more caller in. This is Paul from Oakland. Hi, Paul.
Hi, yay, I didn't think I was going to get in. How are you all this morning?
Have faith, Paul. See, you know what you did, Paul? You know what you did?
What?
You beamed me in, as they say. Well, let me explain this. I mean, I have anything and everything as a possibility for the next 5 minutes.
I love it.
What I don't have is the possibility to go beyond 5 minutes. But these 5 minutes, I can do whatever I please, okay?
I
And
just love that exercise. I was doing the same exercise that you just do with Archangel.
and isn't that good? And you know what, Paul? You've got so much energy that you literally beamed yourself into this studio. So instead of doing something else, I took your call. So what's your question?
My question is, I need work, good paying work. When is it coming in?
You need work, and what was the second part?
Good paying work.
Okay.
Okay. Paul, can I speak with your angels?
Please do.
Okay. You are definitely going to find work. I'm definitely feeling that. All right. When it's going to come in, you know, this fall thing keeps coming in for me. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to have to wait till then. That means between now and the fall. Now, we've just had the summer solstice, all right? And that day is when we release everything that's no longer working for us, and we put out our intentions up until the fall equinox. I would go ahead, if I were you, and do that exercise. And a lot of that is your fear of lack of work. What is it that you do?
Right now I'm an instructional designer in the training arena, but I haven't been working in that arena. I've actually been working with older folks in getting their employment together, and the contract has been cut back, so that's why I'm out looking for more work.
All right. Well, you are a person that is there to help others.
Yes, I am. This is true.
And I find a lot of employment for you.
Great.
You may, get out of the arena that you're in now, but there's something out there for you. Absolutely.
Well, I accept and I receive.
And get on it.
Yes.
Thanks for calling in, Paul. You've got that big energy. Remember that.
All right.
Go in the direction of your biggest gift.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Linda, it's been so much fun having you here. And again, thank you for this opportunity for me to be on your television program.
Yeah.
People can see us broadcasting today on YouTube. And how do they do that again?
Okay, they won't be able to, well, they won't see us today. They'll see us in a few weeks. But go on to, just type in Silicon Valley Metaphysics, Google it, YouTube. Okay? And they'll be able to see all the past shows from Silicon Valley Metaphysics. And if in a few weeks they want to tune in on Wednesday night, every Wednesday night, Silicon Valley's on. So
at 10 o'clock.
Wednesday at 10 p.m. And you can check that out in Los Altos, Mountain View, parts of Cupertino, and Sunnyvale.
Alrighty, and of course you can find out more on Linda Crose-Andersen's website, which is Wings of Love. Linda, thank you so much for having been here.
Thank you so much for having me and letting me and Honey come in the studio.
And film this whole thing.
And this is going to be really fun. This is going to be fabulous once we get it on the air.
Well, thank you. We'll look forward to Linda Crose-Andersen coming back on with us again next month. And remember to keep checking out seeingbeyond.com because we've got a great lineup of guests next week as we continue to see beyond.
I want to thank you. Hi. This is my guest, Bonnie Colleen, and welcome to Silicon Valley Metaphysics, the show that explores practices and processes in the metaphysical realm. Thank you. So, thank you so much for coming.
You are so welcome. And when you say the metaphysical realm, I gotta tell you, I just get so turned on. About, gosh, it had to be almost 30 years ago. I took a class in psychic development and personal growth. I'd had no experience in that. I was raised by a family who didn't believe in any of that, what they would call stuff. And you know, Linda, I said on the radio program so many times that it was doing that literally changed my life from black and white to Technicolor. It made all the difference. It's like I now live in what I would call a magical realm.
Right. I mean, same here. It's opened things up to such a positive level that it's just wonderful. I mean, everything works out. People wonder how I can do so much. You know, I just flew in from the Rockies last night, and and here I am this morning. But it just does it. It just happens. I don't even think about it.
I say to people, when you've truly found your purpose in life, you don't have to worry about having the energy for it because the passion is going to fuel it. And that's what's happened to you, Linda. Or I should say with you. I mean, you've got a full-time career. You are a teacher. You are a counselor. You are married. You're a mother. And somehow or other, you blend it all together and still have energy left over. And you look great, too.
Oh, thank you.
You're doing what you came here to do. You're not spending so much energy wishing and hoping and lamenting. Or maybe even despairing.
I just, and this is so awful, but I just have no patience for that.
Mm-hmm.
I have no patience for someone to sit there and, oh, my life sucks, wee. Because, you know what, we can change that. And it's so easy to change that.
Well, and what Richard Bach says in his book Illusions, if you argue for your limitations, sure enough, they'll be yours. And another one of my favorite quotes in that book, I know it's kind of an older book, but I keep referring back to it because it's got so many lessons in it for me. And one of the things that I am remembering that he said is, if you're wondering if your mission in life is over, and you're still here, it isn't.
Right. That's true. It's not over. And people often ask me, what is your life purpose? And what is my life purpose? And I just tell them, thank you. I just tell them that it's gonna, when it comes, you're gonna know it. You're absolutely gonna know it. And a lot of it you're doing right now. You are doing it right now.
You know, I didn't know that I was going to be doing Seeing Beyond until I was, well into my mature years. And then I say that I got picked up by spirit. I can't explain it any other way. I mean, I guess if I were going to use a metaphor, I would say I felt like I was a little kitten just going along like this, And all of a sudden, the mother cat came along, and picked me up by the nape of the neck, and turned me, and all of a sudden I was still going, same tempo and pace, but now I'm going this way.
Right.
And, it's like, I feel like I must have made the decision, some might even say sign a contract, but made the decision to do this before I even came in this lifetime.
Well, absolutely.
But I had no idea, but when I got married at 19, you and I are both married at 19, we both got divorced 25 years later. We've got a lot in common there. We both started out our careers with 2 careers simultaneously. I was teaching high school full time when I started Seeing Beyond. I had 2 teenagers at home when I started Seeing Beyond. But you know what? Like I said, and I really want you people watching this right now to know that if you're on your path, if you are following your life purpose, the one you signed up for before you came in, you won't have to worry about the energy because just like Linda, the passion will fuel you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And things, when we talk about the hypnotherapy, and I just went,
I mean, so you were a guest on my radio program, wanting to present yourself in the very best way. Still, see, this is what is so important. You were not only aware, but you were also paying attention. You had the big space of awareness around you, but you were paying attention so that when something came into your focus that you were supposed to hear, you heard it.
Right, and I think that is a key phrase of what you just said. Pay attention. That is huge.
And be open, because the messages, we are swimming in a sea of messages.
You better believe
I mean, right now, while you people are watching this television program, you could turn on your radio and you could listen to maybe 50 different radio stations. But first of all, you got to turn it on, and then you got to tune it in.
Right.
Exactly that way. So you talk to angels. I mean, how do you do that?
I just do it. I just...
You turn it on.
Yeah.
And you tune it in.
I just do it. Some of these things, it's so funny. They just come so... just naturally. And one of the huge things I learned from Charles is...
Charles Virtue
is don't think about this stuff. People like to analyze too much. You know what? My feeling is, if it works, go with it. Don't think about it. Just know it's going to happen. Just have the faith that it's going to happen.
Well, you and I are both women, and they say we have intuition and we have a feeling nature. Let's talk a little bit about the feelingness of things, because you just kind of know when it feels right. I've done things that my mind did not want to do. I was kicking and screaming, but my feeling intuitive side was saying, okay, Bonnie, step right up to the plate.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you really have to go with your gut on that, because what's going to come into your mind is going to be the ego. And the ego is going to argue with you all the time. We all have this rationale of why we shouldn't do something. Take the rationale of why we should do something.
It's just like I've had many people over the past 22 and a half years that I've been nonstop broadcasting Seeing Beyond, who have come to me as guests on the program because they were listeners first. Some of them were unemployed or underemployed, didn't have any idea how they were going to jump up high enough to get out of the hole that had been created or that they had created. And yet by listening to people like you and others of my guests, they got inspiration. And some of them have come so far that they've written books, they're teaching, they're now on the radio, they start their own television program. You just never know what's going to happen. I interview people who are big names. I interviewed Deepak Chopra when nobody even knew who he was.
Right.
When his person was begging me to interview him. That's how old I am.
Oh, God.
I've interviewed Wayne Dyer, Doreen Virtue, many of the people that all of you have heard of. And yet, I also interview the people who are doing just as great a work, but they haven't been discovered yet. Maybe they've written their first book. Maybe they've taught their first workshop. It's a matter of just having the inspiration, the passion, and I'm going to say it, the guts to do it.
Well, right, and even with Doreen started out interviewing, doing magazine articles on like Wayne Dwyer. I knew there was a W in there. And, other people like that. And now look at her. I mean, it's just wrong.
And you never know what's going to happen next. So I want to tell this story, if I may, about our good friend Doreen Virtue. We both just love her. She's another angel lady. So years ago, I had a booth at the Whole Life Expo. And Doreen Virtue had been my guest on the program and was talking about the fact that she was going to be a presenter at the Whole Life Expo. Again, this is before, really, nobody knew who Doreen Virtue was back then. So Danny and Brinkley said, Mike, there is going to be, of course he's the author of Saved by the Light, good friend of mine. He said, Mike, there's going to be a great party after, I think it was the Saturday, at the Whole Life Expo in San Francisco. And he goes, why don't you come with me? It'll be great for you to just get out and have fun like that. So, fine, okay. First person I run into is Doreen Virtue. Mm-hmm. And she walks up to me, and Danny introduces her, and he said, this is the lady who interviewed you on Seeing Beyond, Doreen. And she walks up to me, and of course she is drop dead gorgeous.
Yes, and tall.
Yes, she is an angel. And she walked up to me, and she said, quote, Bonnie, you are my sister. If there's ever anything I can do to help you, just let me know. Okay, now. Was I dumbstruck? A little.
Yeah.
Did I think immediately, okay, here's this gorgeous woman who's about to be famous. How can she help me? Yes. And I said to her, actually, there is a way you could help me. She said, what? I said, would you consider, I'll pay your plane fare and I'll pay your hotel expenses, but would you consider coming out here and doing an event for Seeing Beyond? Uh-huh. And I won't pay you anything except your expenses, but of course you can sell your books and tapes and all of that in the back of the room. And if you really want to know how you could help me, that would be a way to really financially assist us to stay on the air. She goes, you got it. Do you know she did 7 events, and every single one of them was filled to capacity.
I bet.
And it literally kept Seeing Beyond afloat. So here's an example of how one woman reached out to another.
Right.
And how I wasn't afraid to say, yes, I need help. Yes, I'll take help. Yes, thank you for offering me help.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, I'll be candid here. I was a little intimidated to ask you to be on the show.
Me?
You.
I can tell you why, because you're psychic. You know why? It's because it's no accident that I do radio. I like being behind the mic. I like being behind the scenes. So I'll be honest with you, it's a stretch for me to be here. So I think you were reading, maybe not my reticence, but the fact that, we all are asked to step out of our comfort zone.
Right.
And you were asking me to step out of my comfort zone.
Right.
You probably didn't know that consciously, but that's the truth.
See, and I've helped you to grow.
That's no kidding. Thank you, Linda.
Well, hey, you're hot. I'm hot.
Yeah, that's true.
So this works.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to thank you so much for coming and doing this with me.
Oh, you are so welcome, and I congratulate you for continuing to open up to newness, to possibilities, to saying yes. Nancy Reagan said, just say no to drugs. I say just say yes to life.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Linda.
Thank you. Now, good night, and we'll see you next time. And I'd love to thank my guest, Bonnie Colleen, once again, KEST Radio. And we will see you next time. Thank you.